Hey guys, happy Monday everybody. I hope you're all having a fabulous day. I am going to get this shared real quick and then we'll jump into this topic. I'm excited to share this with you. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about because everyone thinks that's like impossible to not put out fires all day. So I have some info for you. Let me get this shared real quick. Okay, sweet. So, you guys know how I feel about Mondays. It's a clean slate. It's no excuses. Get your shit done. Handle your business. Gotta love Mondays. So, something came up for me in the last couple of days, actually, and it's just something that I feel like needs a little of attention. So, I actually wrote out a few things to go over with you guys in detail. You guys know a lot of times I wing it on my calls or on my live streams, but sometimes I like to have a plan, and today I have a plan on my live stream. Ashley, good hair day. Hey, thanks. I love it. Woo, super red. I've become very addicted to the red hair, and I don't think I can ever get away from it. Just saying. It's become quite an obsession. So, anyway, okay, so let's talk about putting out fires. I'm going to tell you a few things that you're probably not going to want to believe, but what I ask of you is just keep an open mind and listen to the whole thing, and I promise that it will make sense. So putting out fires, meaning, and I don't mean like firemen. If that's your job, do what you do. But what I mean is, if you're putting out fires all day long, going from... Ashley, my hair's red from all those fires you're putting out. It's because I'm preventing the fires. So it's like, just turn my hair red. Anyway. Side note, so my house is owned by a fireman. My landlord's a fireman. So my office used to be his son's bedroom. So I don't know how many of you have been following me for a while, but I used to have fireman border in my room. So it was kind of an ongoing joke with one of my clients. She was like, it's just fitting that you have firefighter wallpaper in your office because that's what you do. You put out fires all day. I'm like, no, I want to prevent them. But anyway, total side note. So putting out fires, meaning when the wrenches are thrown in your plans, the things that come up in your day that like need your attention right now, that you feel like are like almost give you anxiety because you have to stop what you're doing to give them attention and handle them right this moment because it's on fire, right? Well, I used to work at a place actually where every single thing was on fire. If you ask the owner, everything was a fire, everything was VIP, everything needed attention right now. So that's how I utilized my life. So for a really long time, I totally agree with you guys. Like for a really long time, I thought in my head, like, there's no way that you can prevent these things from happening. But because I lived that way for so long, I mastered how to create an atmosphere that is not like that and how to be proactive and prevent it from happening. So I'm going to share some of that stuff with you guys today. Just a few realizations for you as well. So example, so say you're not meeting your goals or you feel like you're running ragged all the time. You feel like you're completely maxed capacity. So a lot of times when I tell you these tips and things for you to use, you're like, yeah, freaking right. Like I'm maxed out. Like I have no more time. I have no more capacity. There's just no way I can add anything else on. I understand. First of all, I want you to take a deep breath and realize that all of the things and like the way that your day runs is a choice. It all comes from a choice that you've made at one point or another. Usually it's a choice that you made earlier in the day or a choice that you made yesterday or whatever that is now a result of what's happening to you right now. What I mean, and I'm not talking about like universe shit, I'm talking about actual things that happened and you either did or you did not do, and now the result of that choice is in front of your face and it might be on fire. Okay, this is what I'm getting at. So what I want to explain to you is the process here of how to start to eliminate those things and how to not have that fire. So example, so you have these important priorities, and this is when we all start to really freaking panic and we all start to get that anxiety the most, is when we have priorities or like very important things in our lives or that we want to spend our time on that are slipping through our fingertips, They're not getting our time and attention. They keep getting pushed off day in and day out. And it's because you're running around putting out fires. So instead of handling the things that are really important and a priority in your life, you're allowing someone else to dictate your behavior and your action by stopping the things that are the most important to you and then going to the fire to put it out. Okay? So just so that we're clear on this, it is a choice, and you're allowing other people to dictate the way that you are handling something, which is no good because you are in control of your life. So you want to dictate your mood, your behavior, and your actions. So the newsflash here for everyone is that we all have the same 24 hours. Like, you may get 4 things on your list done every single day consecutively, but the woman that sits next to you may conquer her list every single day consecutively. Well, guess what? You and the girl who sits next to you have the exact same 24 hours in your day. Like, hate to break it to you, but nobody has got like a special deal where God's giving them more hours. You know, we all have the same 24. Okay? So, again, it all comes down to choices. It all comes down to how you choose to handle your time and manage your time, and be proactive. So, stepping in, Ashley, preach. I am kind of preaching, huh? Serious, this is important shit. Sometimes you just gotta like lay out the fire. Not the kind. Anyway, that was just completely punny and not on purpose. Anyway, so a lot of people, I just went through here. So the difference is choices. Every item on your schedule is a result of a choice that you made before, or that you failed to make, that you ignored to make. So, the biggest thing you need to think of is how valuable is your time, okay? Your time and how you spend it is your choice, but you need to figure out how you value your time, and that's how you just when you decide how you're going to spend it and what you're going to give your attention to. So if you're too busy to do something, or you're too busy to handle another task, or you're too busy to answer the phone, or whatever it is, I want you to know that that too busy is a choice that you make. Like, you either were really lazy yesterday and didn't focus on your plan, or whatever, or you scheduled entirely too many things for yourself today, or every single day, like you run yourself ragged. You run that. You allow that to happen. So how do you change it? This is my favorite special word. It's being proactive. So, like, it's just so huge. Being proactive comes from a lot of things, and it's definitely a habit that you have to create. That's why I talk about it so much, because the more that you pay attention to that, the more that you're going to adapt that proactive behavior on a day-to-day consistent basis, and then it becomes habit to you. So number one thing that I suggest that you do, this is like first step that you should do. Every day, at the end of your day, recap. I know it sounds really simple. Let me explain. Recap your day. What happened? Like, look at your schedule and then think about what actually happened. Like, what did you actually spend time on and what did you not get to? Or what other things popped up that were not on your schedule? Okay? Jot that shit down. Like, jot it down, take some notes, pay attention to this, because these things become a pattern, and that's how it becomes you running around like a crazy person all day long. So to break this down another step, think about the quote-unquote fires that presented themselves to you in that day. When you're recapping on your day, not just looking at your list and your accomplishments, but think about what presented itself to you that you had to stop what you were doing and pay attention to right then and there because it was such a fire situation. So I know each one of you are thinking of at least one thing that happened, whether it was yesterday or today or something, that you had to stop. So I'm going to give you an example of like a small fire type situation that occurred in my own life that I then created a proactive behavior around, and now it doesn't happen anymore. So very simple example here. So I have an assistant, and I have a really big problem with expecting the people that I'm talking to or like giving instruction to be able to read my mind. A lot of people have this problem. So I'm usually very good about being extremely descriptive about what it is that I want someone to do. But occasionally, especially like with my assistant, I expect her just to know, and or like my clients, I just expect them to know. Sometimes my boyfriend, for God's sakes, I expect him just to know, and it's really bad. So I put a conscious effort to not expecting people to read my mind. But we were starting this new process and, whatever, and I could have explained myself a lot more in detail of the process of what I expected, but I didn't. So then that resulted in me having to stop what I was doing in the middle of the day to respond to 4 or 5 emails from her to give her more direction because I didn't do it in the first place. And what that does is that throws off my frame of mind, that delays the time that I needed, or the stuff that I needed to be doing for my clients or for my business or whatever. That delays me eating lunch, for God's sakes. But the reason that it's a fire is because if I don't handle it right now, I'm wasting her time. And I refuse to do that because I value her time more than I value my own time sometimes, So what we need to do is change our way of thinking to not only value the time of those people that we're paying or that are paying us, but we need to value our own time in the same. So when you do that, that's going to be where you're really balanced and there's no more like this. Because when they're like this, here you are down here going, oh my God, I hate my life. That's not what you want. You don't need to be that way with your clients or your business or whomever, your boss. You guys need, your time is both very valuable regardless. So that's what I really, really, really want you guys to make a conscious effort to do is recap on each day, especially on those fires. So think about the things that came up and think about ways that you can prevent them from happening again. So like, for example, back when I worked in automotive, I remember we would have a reoccurring cycle that on Friday mornings, a lot of times the detail department would be super backed up. And it was a reoccurring fire, like me or the estimator or whomever are outside washing cars because we're like, holy crap, we have this giant list of cars and this is on fire. We have to get them done. They have to go home, right? And that's a real fire. That really happens, So what did we do? Well, the idea was, okay, how can we fix this? So we would stagger delivery dates. We would stagger and say this many cars are going to go home on Thursday. Or we would say, I need you to detail these cars on Thursday. And then we would go park them in a part of the shop that wasn't near the dust and whatever. So we were being proactive. We were thinking ahead of the game. We were acting ahead of the game. We were setting ourselves up to succeed. Because when you're not proactive, you're setting yourself up for failure. And who wants that? Nobody. Let me see what time it is. Okay, sorry, I just had to make sure I was still good on time. So it's one step in itself, really, but I just wanted to throw this out there to you guys because this is really, really important, and it's definitely a game changer. And it's not like you sit down and write about one and you think about one fire that happened. Let's be serious. These type of situations come up all the time. So it's definitely something that if you make this a habit to recap on your day and actually pay attention to these little wrenches that are thrown in your plans and these little fires that pop up, then actually take action on preventing them from happening, your day is going to run a lot smoother and you're going to be proactive. And trust me, everyone in your life and your business or your job will thank you for that because it will all run smoother and everyone else's life will also run smoother. Let's see what Ashley has to say here real fast. Funny, each morning when I get up an hour and 15 minutes before I need to work, I work from home, so transit doesn't take long. I feel you there. Each morning I legit hit the snooze and think, I can take another 40 minutes, and then I force myself to get out of bed and do my morning routine. And if I get all of that done, my day runs more smoothly. I feel like I've gotten more done, and I tend to get more done because I feel like I already have got the ball rolling. Less fires because I've conquered them in advance. Hell yes. Hell yes. And each time I don't want it and I do it anyway, I hear your voice saying I told you so. I love that. I don't want to say I told you so, but I'm glad that it works for you because I do the same thing. You think that, so I have to eat a certain amount of time before I go to the gym or I get sick. So legitimately when my alarm goes off on the mornings that I train, I will look down and be like, shit, well, I don't have to eat for 40 minutes. So I can lay here for 40 more minutes. and I like have to be like, hell no, Jamie, like smack myself in the head. No, I'm getting up right now. I'm not going to allow myself to do this, because if I don't wake up and it within those 40 minutes, I get so much done that will, otherwise I have to do that after training, which throws my whole freaking day off. So I totally agree. Being, having like a routine and sticking to it is a big part of preventing fires and being proactive as well, for sure. For sure. That's definitely part of it. And I actually did a video, what was it, last week, about the importance of having a morning routine and the importance of setting your mornings, letting your mornings set the stage for your day. So great point, Miss Ashley. Totally agree with you. And that is what I got, you guys. That is what I got for you today. So let that simmer in, and let me know if you take action on this, because that's the cool thing. Like, I totally enjoy giving you guys these tips, and I love talking about this stuff. Obviously, it like flows out of me. It's like part of who I am, you know. But number one, I share it with you because I know it works, because it works for me and it works for my clients. And I want to help you make your world a better place. But I'd really love to know, like, if you're implementing the things that I'm telling you and like these tips or suggestions, let me know. I'd love to hear how it's going, and be able to maybe give you some more support or advice if needed. And for those of you who run a business, and the operation is getting bigger, or the operation, you have a lot of plates in the air and you're just not positive on how to do exactly what I just said and how to be super proactive, one of the steps of being super proactive may be hiring assistants. Meaning, not necessarily an assistant, that may be the course or the solution, but you may need to hire someone to manage that stuff for you. So it's one of those things that when you sit down and do the recap and you look and you see all these things and the ways that you can be proactive, you may need to bring in another body to handle those things that need to be proactive. And that's okay. That's part of growing a business. That's part of growing. So I just wanted to mention that to you as well. If you're not sure what the right person is for that, do your recap and send me a message and we'll talk about it. I can maybe give you some advice on what might be the right road for you to go down to find somebody to fill that spot for you and get that proactive stuff going. I'm such a dork, you guys. I'm such a dork. Anyways, I love you all and you're fabulous. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like the video, please give a thumbs up and share it if you like it. And I will be back more this week with some more random tips. Talk to you guys later. Bye.